So we're live from Crusaders headquarters. I'm King Nico. If you're watching this, you are the resistance. It has been 1 week since the incident that took place in Orem, Utah with Charlie Kirk. We've been covering this every single day. We have uncovered quite the web and quite the matrix of deception, all pointing towards the coming tribulation, biblical end times, and the new world order, the satanic new world order. So I'm going to share with you some brand new decodes. They're coming in hot and fast now. So I did say we were going to cover the Charlie Kirk Back to the Future decodes. A week ago, they came out immediately also. So I had time to look at it quickly and found that there are a lot of connections that fit into what we have found here. So Mariana says, hello, good to see you. Good afternoon. So let's start with, first of all, this channel right here is Farming from Scratch is where I found it. And also Flat Earth Warriors has also been covering this. So June 5th, 2012 to September 10th, 2025 is 4,845 days. Turning Point USA was founded by Charlie Kirk and was formed June 5th, 2012. So there's your June 5th, 2012. Good afternoon, good day to Priya is in the chats. So June 5th, 2012 to September 10th, 2025, which was a week ago, we all know what took place, was 4,845 days. So now when we take this to the Back to the Future movie, so in the said scene where we see this number is when Marty McFly travels back in time to the 50s. And as he enters Hillside Valley, he's looking around and noticing all the changes, right? So the first change was the movie theater. He noticed this was playing at the local cinema. Cattle Queen of Montana. B. Stanwyck and R. Reagan, right? So this is a real movie with real actors and actresses, right? So as the camera pans from this scene to the next scene, you see a car drive by. And here is the car, and here is the license plate. So you got your 6S 48405, or if you cross out the 0, you get 4845, which is the amount of days from the founding of Turning Point USA to last week's Orem, Utah incident. So there's your first connection. So I looked at this movie here. Cattle Queen of Montana. So Cattle Queen of Montana equals 1018. Luke 1018. I saw Satan fall from heaven as a lightning bolt. But notice is also starring Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan is the 40th president of the United States, and he was in office from 1981, January 20th, to 1989, January 20th. And his vice president was George H.W. Bush, who'd go on to become the 41st president. So Ronald Wilson Reagan, the president of the 80s, was born February 6, 1911, or 1911. So there's your 9/11. But look at the day that he died. Ronald Reagan died on June 5th. 2004, age 93. June 5th is the founding date of Charlie Kirk's Turning Point. So he founded it on the what? Reagan died when? 2004. So 8 years. On the 8-year death anniversary of 40th President Ronald Reagan, Charlie Kirk founded Turning Point USA. So another connection to another president, but Charlie Kirk. This time, Ronald Reagan, who's very similar to the current president, Donald Trump. Because as you can see here, Ronald Reagan did star in movies, this one called Cattle Queen of Montana. It was also starring Barbara Stanwyck. She was born July 16th, 1907, but look when she died. January 20th, 1990. So she died on Inauguration Day. So she died the year after her co-star Ronald Reagan was replaced in office by George H.W. Bush on January 20th, 1989. Inauguration equals 1044, which is New World Order. So what did happen on January 20th, 1990? It was Black January, part of the dissolution of the Soviet Union. So here is a January 20th monument. Black January, also known as Black Saturday, or the January Massacre, was a violent crackdown on Azerbaijani nationalism and anti-Soviet sentiment in Baku on the 19th to the 20th of January 1990, as part of a state of emergency during the dissolution of the Soviet Union. So here's a scene with Marty McFly in front of the clock tower and his girlfriend Jennifer. But look at the pin on his jacket. That pin is an Art and Revolution pin worn by Marty McFly in Back to the Future. Does it not look a lot like Turning Point USA, just the opposite? Or mirrored. You got your semicircle and your red triangle arrow pointer. You got your semicircle and your red triangle arrow pointer. Turning Point USA, Art and Revolution, worn by Marty McFly in Back to the Future, who, when he went back in time to the 50s, he was knocked unconscious when he was run over by his granddad, and his mom woke him up, and she's like, "Why do you have your name on your underwear?" Because Marty McFly was wearing Calvin Klein underwear, so he went by the name Klein while he was traveled back in time to the 50s. Calvin Klein, or CK, are the exact same initials as Charlie Kirk. Azerbaijan, Baku. There is a Formula One race in Baku, Azerbaijan. Guess when that race is taking place? This weekend. It will be the first race since the death of Charlie Kirk. And we're just connecting now. We've got the Azerbaijan Black January connections, and I was already going to connect this the other day, but I lost the decode. I just forgot what happened. Maybe I made a mistake. But Charles Leclerc sounds a lot similar to Charles Kirk, right? The Charlie Kirk is also born in October, like Charles Kirk. Charlie Kirk was October 14th, 93. Charlie Leclerc is October 16th, 1997. So there's a history of Charles Leclerc in Baku, Azerbaijan. In 2017, his father passed away, and he went on to win an emotional race in Baku. So Charles Leclerc extended his points at the top of the FIA Formula 2 Championship on Saturday by taking an emotional victory in the feature race at the Baku City Circuit, racing just days after the death of his father, and with tributes on both his car and helmet. Leclerc went unchallenged en route to his third victory of the F2 season, leading home Nick De Vries and Nicholas Latifi. Azerbaijan equals 1098. Order out of chaos equals 1098. Charles Leclerc is the fastest man at the Baku circuit. I guess with the history and the passion behind winning and driving and racing after the death of his father, and then the first race of being Baku. So just as with, again, history repeats itself, the first race since the death of Charlie Kirk, Charles Leclerc will be racing at Baku this weekend. And look at these stats. P1, 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 P1. 5 years in a row, he has been the fastest man on Saturday in Baku, but he has not been able to win the race on Saturday, but he has been able to get pole position. He is the quickest man in Baku. So I'm interested to see what this ritual will take place with Charles Leclerc and this run of poles and not being able to convert it into a win. Possibly, maybe this time he might convert it into a win, or he will be on pole and again won't be able to win. But yeah, very interested to see how that will transpire. So we're going to get towards the next decodes that we shared late last night, so you might not have been awake to see them. So October 14th, which is a shared birthday with George Floyd and Charlie Kirk. They were both born 33 days after September 11th. So their birthday is always 33 days after September 11th. Their birthday, October 14th, equals 1260. 1260 is in reference to the two halves of trials and tribulation, 7 years. So the first half is 1260 days, 42 months, and the second half is also 1260 days, 42 months, which is two halves of three and a half years. So he was born on a date that equals 1260, one of the halves, and the last words he mentioned were gang violence equals 1260, the other half of tribulation. We've got the Star Trek decodes, which are insane. 4911 666 decodes and 11s. So Irina Zarutska equals 1104. Captain Kirk equals 1104, which is basically the same name as Charles James Kirk. So Irina Zarutska, that equals 1104. Her incident took place on the bus in Charlotte, which equals tribulation. And Charlotte's also the female name and version of Charles. And both nicknames for Charlotte and Charles is Charlie. So Robert Redford died yesterday. His full name is Charles Robert Redford, and he died yesterday, September 16th. He played and voiced a role in the movie Charlotte's Web. Right? Charlotte's Web. We're uncovering the web of deception and lies. So Charles Robert Redford equals 1122, and he was in this movie, Charlie's Web. the 2006 version, because there was an original version. So this was the remake from the 1973 movie. And I found this very interesting because that movie came out on 2/22/1973, February 22nd, and all the way up until last week's incident in Utah, September 10th, is 52 years and 200 days. Charlotte's Web gematria is 52 and 200 in full reduction and ordinal. That's insane. That Charlotte's Web, that equals 52 and 200, was released 52 years and 200 days before September 10th, 2025. It was directed by a man named Charles, and it was produced by Hanna-Barbera. Hanna-Barbera Productions is 1044. New World Order. Charlotte's Web is 606. 606 is in reference to Assassin is 606, and the 606 years and 0 days, because it was on the exact same date that John the Fearless was assassinated by a man named Charles on September 10th, 1419, and then 606 years later, an assassin took out Charlie Kirk, whose agenda bender equals 606, the connections to Charlotte's Web 606, and Donald Trump, because Trump Tower is 606. And how is that connected to Charlie Kirk? Apart from Charlie Kirk being good friends and tight with President, 45th and 47th President of the USA, Donald Trump, former actor, just like Ronald Reagan, the president that he founded his organization on, his death date anniversary. So Charlie Kirk's father equals the beast system, 1086. Charlie Kirk's father was an architect and designer. He was the man who was involved in the construction and design of Trump Tower. Now is it all making sense? Why Charlie Kirk is who he is? Because his dad is basically an architect of the beast system. He designed and built Trump Tower, which is home of Antichrist President Trump. So the beast system is 1086, civil rights leader is 1086. Orem, Utah, where this incident took place, equals 606, which was exactly 606 years after Jean Sans-Pierre's assassination. He equals 1086 beast system. Assassin equals 606. Charlie Kirk's dad equals 1086. The connections are wild. So he's a Nepo baby. Nepotism equals 630, which is Charlie Kirk 630. Nepotism is also 666. He died on the date September 10th, which equals his name, which equals Masonry, which also equals 9/11 because of his serious ritualistic connections to 9/11. I found out, so Charles James Kirk equals Twin Tower. His dad constructed Trump Tower. 9/11 is a movie featuring and starring Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was live on air with Joe Rogan as the news broke regarding Charlie Kirk's fatal incident. So Joe Rogan and Charlie Sheen learned about Charlie Kirk getting SHOT live on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Another September birthday, Charlie Sheen, who will be 726 months of age on March 3rd, 2026. 3 for 33, 726 is Antichrist. His name, Carlos Estevez, equals 1086. Beast System 1086. He starred in the movie 9/11, which equals Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is married to Miss Arizona. That equals Charlie James Kirk. That equals the slogan on his banners at his events, prove me wrong. And at this event, they added a lightning bolt. Luke 10:18. I saw Satan fall from heaven as lightning. Connections to Charles the King, Charles Windsor, who was his birthday in the coronation year where he became king to last week's date is 666 days. From his birth date to September 23rd, he will be 922 months and 9 days, which will mean that King Charles, as of September 23rd, 2025, is in his 923rd month of age, 923. So on 923, he is in his 923 month of life. Feast of Trumpets is 923. Rapture of a Christian is 923. 9/11, 2001 to 9/23, 2025 is 1254 weeks. Charles Windsor, the reigning monarch of the Commonwealth, King Charles Windsor equals 1254. Great Tribulation is 1254. He is in his 923rd month. Are you kidding me? And he is king of the current Commonwealth. His face is on the majority of the world's money. Wow. Front page news, New York Post, the world is evil, with Erica Kirk at Charlie's coffin. The world is evil is 1086. So the headline right there is basically saying the beast system. Basically, New York Post headline for this story is the beast system. It's a direct match. Podcast 666. It was 6 years, 66 days of his podcast where he would suffer a neck wound. 666 for your hat trick. Zionist. He's not a Christian. These are Zionists. It was also 322 weeks from the debut show to last week's incident, 322, Skull and Bones. The captain of the Starship Enterprise was born on 322. Not just the character, but the actor that played the character was also born on 322 for your double dose of Skull and Bones. So when Charlie Sheen turns 726 months of age in March next year, a month later, Kirk Cameron, who was in the Tribulation movie, will turn 666 months of age. So we're getting into the 1122s and the Mark of Beast numbers and the connections with John Wilkes Booth and Tyler Robinson. It was 160 years apart. We called it before the news did regarding homosexuality, thanks to the numbers. It was a 33-hour manhunt to bring in Tyler Robinson. And yesterday we found out during the first court appearance that his name is Tyler James Robinson, the exact same middle name as Charlie James Kirk. So we got the matching names. So we got the matching birthdays with Charlie Kirk and George Floyd. Now we have the matching middle names with James Kirk and James Robinson. And like we said and called right from the beginning, prosecutors seek death penalty for Charlie Kirk murder suspect. He is currently being held in the Utah County Jail, which equals 666. And the prosecutors announced that they will be seeking the death penalty, equals 666. double dose of 666, mark of the beast, number of the beast. So the name in question here is James, because they both share the same middle name, James. So another J name, like Donald J. Trump, Anastasia J. Casey, Tyler J. Robinson, Charles J. Kirk. So James equals 726, which is a match for the 726 of Antichrist. He's a rainbow warrior, Trantifa, part of the Transpocalypse, 1104, 1104. Irina Zarutska, 1104. Captain Kirk, 1104. It was 666 Mercury years apart from the assassination of Abraham Lincoln by John Wilkes Booth to the Charlie Kirk one by Tyler Robinson. So 88 Earth days is 1 year on Mercury. So the 1122s are in reference to the Brotherhood of Death, which is why a lot of assassination decodes equal 1122. John Wilkes Booth, 1122, Brotherhood of Death. Faked assassination, Brotherhood of Death. Adolf Hitler, Brotherhood of Death, right? The 1122s. Assassination equals 611. As Brotherhood of Death equals 611. Tribulation equals 611. 1122 was the date of JFK's incident. George Washington equals 1122. Richard Nixon equals 1122. The Nixon phone call to the moon equals 666. NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration equals 666. They were responsible for the fake moon landing, 666. Galactic Federation, witchcraft, 666. Alien invasion is 1122. So Disney NASA is 666. The Fallen Angels, 666. We have a United States Space Command, equals 1104. Captain Kirk equals 1104. Right? It's just a movie, people. It's not real. And look when it was founded. The United States Space Command was founded on September 23rd, 1985, for your Feast of Trumpets date, 923, 40 years ago. Right? So everyone's saying that, oh, the rapture's going to happen on September 23rd. I don't think so. It's a military operation that's going to happen on September 23rd. And not just any military operation. It's going to be a fallen angel, all kinds of Project Bluebeam type military operation, if anything's going to happen, right? We don't know yet, but people are so set on this date, right? And Satan, is crafty. Nothing could potentially happen, which would annoy a lot of people and turn them away from God. There's your 923. So US Space Command equals order out of chaos. Order out of chaos equals Antichrist. As in the days of Noah equals 1104. So United States Space Command equals alien threat, just as it was in the days of Noah. Are you seeing the numerical values connecting here and the dates? September 23rd. Turning Point USA equals 1122 for your Brotherhood of Death, 1122. Charlie Kirk assassination equals tribulation. Charlie Kirk tribulation equals tribulation. Tribulation is 846. Fearless Charlie is 846 and 666. Charlie Kirk Masonry is the year of the Great Flood. History repeats itself equals Charles James Kirk. Tyler Robinson, John Wilkes Booth, they all equal white supremacy, just like Charlie Kirk equals white supremacy, and Mark of Beast. A white supremacist equals Great Tribulation. I have met hundreds, if not thousands, of Tyler Robinsons. I've met many of these guys. I've screamed in Tyler Robinson's face, not this one directly, but he is Trantifa. I have been at war with this organization, with these devils. So quickly now, I'm just resharing a new window. So this is from my Instagram, just some, sorry, you're gonna need the sound, aren't you? Because I wanted to share Flat Earth Warriors decodes on Charlie Kirk and Back to the Future. So yeah, we're talking about Trantifa and Tyler Robinson and these types of people. Well, here you go. Just check this video out.
Get back in the closet! Get back in the closet!
So there I am at one of the Pride parades, at one of the trans rallies. So they're doing their celebration, and I show up with a handful of guys and tell them that this will be your last parade. And they tried to run me out of the park and cover me with their transgender and rainbow flags, all of them. It is absolutely insane. So I know full well who these people are and what they're like. They're sodomites.
So we're approaching Grange Park, and as you can see behind us, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of Trantifa protesters celebrating their Pride this weekend, today, Sunday. So we're gonna go check it out, right?
We're entering the belly of the beast. We're going to an Antifa queer march.
So we're approaching Grange Park, and as you can see behind us,
an Trantifa queer march, which is exactly the type of thing and place where you would find someone like Tyler James Robinson. So I've been to war with these guys for years. I am one of the main players in the anti-drag movement. You can find my stories on Google, on the internet. It's all there. So protest organizer Nico King wore a rainbow pride flag as a cape, but said it was not a show of support for the LGBTQ community. I say, quoted, "The Bible says the rainbow was given to us after the flood as a promise from God. I'm wearing this because I'm taking it back. I'm bringing it back to its original meaning. Satan clearly has taken that promise and has used it for this fornication and this cult-like behavior and religion." And it says, despite his comments, Nico said he's not opposed to members of the community. We're all accepting and tolerating, but it doesn't mean we agree with it, he said. So that's in Toronto Star News there. Many protesters even labels me, try to turn people away, make me look like a clown in the media. Like other high-profile protesters include Nico, a flat earther and former racer who was part of the Ottawa occupation and now smells brimstone and drag shows. So they tried to label us as hateful, right? I was and have been leading the charge. So as a faction of the freedom movement has been preoccupied with protesting child-friendly drag events. King Nico has been leading the charge in Ontario. Right, so there's been others too. You can see the name there. Here I am, Trantifa, getting surrounded by a bunch of
I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna walk through that way and go back across the other side of the street. If you're in my fucking way, I'm gonna drop you. So get the hell out of my way.
Keep talking, bitch.
what happened. You'll be dropped next. I'll take that 5 of you right now. So get the hell out of my way. Right? So move. Move. Yeah, I might come, but I could be nice, but I will fuck every single one of you guys up. You hear me right now? You fucking hear me right now? We're at war. What are you reaching for? You got weapons? You got a knife? Yeah. Fucking pussies. Okay, let me move out this side.
Sorry, I apologize for the explicit language there, but I'm just showing you the characters that we're dealing with here, the people that keep shooting up the United States, all these LGBTs with their trans flags and their cross-dressing social medias. I've been face to face with these people. I've been in crowds of them, as you can see there. I am not afraid of them. Yeah, they are psycho. You can see I watch behind me. As soon as they reach into their pockets, I'm alert. I turn. I said, what are you reaching for? A weapon, a knife? Because they have me surrounded. But I tell them to their face, I will mess every single one of them up and I will drop all of them. So they better get out my way and let me walk freely across the sidewalk. These are the types of people we're dealing with. Trantifa, Tyler Robinson. I've been on the news.
Filed into the Brockville Public Library on Saturday for its first ever drag storytime event. Meanwhile, outside of the building, a group of 14 people protesting against the drag show traded verbal barbs with a group of counter-protesters who were there to defend the event. The library's CEO, Geraldine Slark, was among the counter-protesters.
This is okay for children, right?
We were just having a party out there,
So yeah, it's been nationwide. I've been arrested for this. See, Americans, it is already here in Canada, says a Christian woman, Sarah Williams. She says, this week, a brother in Christ, Nico, and a Catholic teenage boy were arrested for standing up against the Storytime PDF file agenda. This is Canada in 2023. The wicked are protected, and those who stand for the children are against the wicked and are arrested. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Put lightness for dark, or a light for darkness, and put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. So this is the war. This is why we're seeing a rise of these Trantifa type people with their radicalized beliefs, right? They hate Christianity. That's what you have to understand. They hate Christianity. Here is one I spoke to. So this is one that's trying.
Hey, so what about the new developments of Satanism popping up? The Satanic Church? You don't see any? There we go. There it is.
We need some of the old people to come back. So everything's just like getting let go and.
There you are. Say it again. But why would you want to be a Satanist though? That's rebelling and rebuking, going against God, right? So you choose. You renounce Jesus. So you have to renounce Jesus to become a Satanist. Okay. Well, thanks a lot. I wish there could be an. See? The truth always.
See? So as you can see there, that last one that walked off and said, hell Satan, that's an MTF, a male to female transgender that's transitioning. That is basically what Tyler James is in a relationship with. That is who his partner and roommate is one of these people. They are part of the club. You see them, they're flashing devil horns, they're screaming hell Satan, they're waving their flags, dancing around to YMCA, the same song that the president of the United States dances to, by the way, Donald Trump. So is Donald Trump not part of that same community? They dance and party to the exact same song. So we're just unraveling the character and the type of people that Tyler James is, and these people that keep shooting up the place. It's Trantifa.
Organization grooming infants. We're not here to stand against you and your community, but against what is going on in the schools. I already had the books here showing the sexualization and the incestuous situations and the stories in the books. You've made a lot of us upset and angry and mad. It's speechless what is being seen in these books, what the stories are being read to these children. the mutilation in the school, the secrets from the parents. Yeah, turn your back to us. That's a sign that you know that everything we are saying is true.
Because you're ashamed.
Satan will turn his back on you also. Let's see, so I'm exposing the Baphomet. These people are Satan worshippers.
So yeah, Trantifa, you see them. They have their satanic temple hoodies. They have the Baphomet on their bodies tattooed. It's a satanic cult. This is what we're dealing with. It has nothing to do with gender. Well, it is. That's what they do, but it's beyond that. This is some of their tactics when you show up to try and protest against them. They're organized. They have their black umbrellas. They're all in black, and heads and faces are covered. This was the middle of winter. I was out there protesting against them. Another one, anti-pride rally held in Mississauga to protest the Soji education in schools. Here I am. They know who I am. They hate me. So the same way that they're portraying in the narrative that Tyler James and his transitioning partner, they have so much hatred towards Charlie Kirk because he's a conservative and a Christian. This is what I'm going through too.
Yeah, also rescinded, not invited, I'm sorry. Since all of your invitations have been rescinded, I invite each of you to go and find a life and have the day that you deserve. We have Nico King. Yeah, also rescinded, not invited, I'm sorry.
So yeah, I don't want to be invited to your sodomy parties. It's disgusting. So yeah, I've been out there. It's far-right religious groups protest drag story time event. Here's why I won't stop. Like, this is crazy. So it has been biblical for a while now. These are going back years. I'm just trying to find some more stuff here. We're going to go check out Flat Earth Warriors. Okay, I want to see, sorry. Flat Earth Warriors. Give me a second. Let's try and find this Flat Earth Warriors. I can't see him here. Oh, it's flat underscore. There we go. Always forget that, the underscores. So Flat Earth Warriors on Instagram right here is where it's been helping with these decodes. As you can see on his page, all the Charlie Kirk decodes. You can see some of Trantifa here. So if you want to know more about who these people are that are doing these shootings, let me know. I'll do a full live and show you some of these interviews and some of these crazy things that have happened when I've been at these protests and they show up. So yeah, you can see Flat Earth has shared some of the decodes we've done here. He's got the Back to the Future decode. I know there was a gas station that had the date, September 10th on it. So yeah, here it is, the gas war. So in the movie, it shows 10th of September or 9/10, 9/10, 9/10 3 times, and September 11th. It's got the KC on the Jeep that Marty McFly drives, and he goes by the name Calvin Klein in the movie, CK. So awesome stuff here. We're unraveling and documenting everything. So we'll get around to it all, like we've got around to this Back to the Future one today, along with some other decodes. So let me just make sure I've got everything covered I wanted to share today, and then we can go about our days. What is this? Yeah, it's just more stories of where I am. One of the main players in the anti-drag movement is Nico King. Sodomites, he can be heard yelling in a YouTube video as he is cuffed and led away while protesting earlier this year at a drag story time in Ottawa. So I'm glad they wrote this because it tells it basically exactly how I feel. It says, I am on a self-proclaimed crusade to recover society from the satanic left, who have turned the world into what he believes is the equivalent of Sodom and Gomorrah. So in an interview, he says he was arrested for reciting biblical verses referencing Babylon and sodomite abomination. Unbelievable. So if you want, you can go check it out yourself. It's on Twitter. I believe Karima has done the most in-depth documentation on these protests and how Trantifa have come and attacked us and all their tactics. Like, yeah, she's got it well documented. So I'm, yeah, done a lot of screaming in the faces of people like Tyler James Robinson. So yeah, I know the type of person who he is and the people he hangs out with. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you, Priya says, great work, Nico. Black Cat USA has been here. I got to catch up on some of these comments. I hope you guys are seeing these connections. Rastafari Gematria says it's absolutely mind-blowing. Wow. Yeah, 2026 will be wild, says Mariana. Cable X Dialectic says, hey, everyone. So thank you, sir. Thank you to all. Says amazing finds, brother. Amazing. Yeah, masonry is 33. That's just a really easy one. The 33 is a very easy to find. I tried to look a bit deeper and go far and wide and beyond to bring you the connections we've been able to find with this. It's insane. It's absolutely mind-boggling. I'm actually losing sleep over this. It's insane. Charlie Kirk, membership of Council for National Policy. Have you all shared this on your social media yet? Please, you're welcome to copy it and make your own versions of it. Just credit the channel. We can help each other out here. So, you know, do whatever you can, whatever you're comfortable with, but let's try and get this information out there. Thank you, brother. Says, Go King Nico, leading the charge. Yep, copy the link to this video and share on other people's lives and posted videos. I strongly, very much appreciate that. So symbolism will be and is their downfall. So I go to live news channel chats and drop the links to the King Nico current videos. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you, King Nico. Love the updates. So enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. I will be back with more decodes, more updates. We're pulling this all together for one big, massive satanic ritual reveal. We're running out of time, right? Whether September 23rd is the day or not, things are happening. And we're doing our best to keep up and make it aware to everyone, not to be deceived. But if you've been watching and listening to this live stream, you are the resistance.